Hey everyone, just quickly going to step through the updated changes that's been made to the finalizing logic that requires the prepare reviewer or approver to also be allowed to close an obligation if all the rules are met. So just to show, I have before I made the changes, I finalized my this obligation period with these three users to show that it doesn't move until the approver actually finish finalizing the obligation period. So the obligation is set to require the reviewer to also at least finalize the obligation before the approver, before it gets closed. So I'm just going to log in with the approver user and finalize an obligation before the reviewer, just to show that when the reviewer does finalize the obligation, that it is also closed as well. Okay, so let's finalize this. Here we can see that the reviewer and the approver is required to finalize before the obligation can be closed. So I'll just finalize this with the approver. Then just for a sanity check, I'll also log in with the preparer user to show that the obligation will not be closed until the reviewer also actually finalizes the obligation. Okay, so let's follow this. Just answer these questions. Okay, so let's finalize this one with the preparer. Okay, let's just verify the status so we can see that it hasn't been updated yet. So now if we had to log in with the reviewer, okay, so this is for the period of Feb. So let's go and finalize this period. Okay, so here we can see that February has been moved to the recently finalized obligations and it has been closed. So therefore the changes have been implemented correctly. I think I'm actually just going to go the other way as well, and then make sure that all the roles can actually close the obligation if the rules are met. So let's just actually finalize this one with a reviewer. And then log in with the approver user. Okay, so if we then just navigate and then approve this with our approver user. Okay, so here we can see that for the month of March, the obligation has also been closed. So let's then go ahead and do this with the approver as well, the preparer as well. So I'm just going to go and finalize this obligation period. I'm just going to go change this to include the preparer. Okay, so let's change our FOI policy to include the preparer and the reviewer. Okay, then we'll log in with the reviewer user. Okay, so we're going to finalize this with the reviewer, and here we can see that the preparer is still required. So if we had to look here, we'll see that it's still under the open obligations. Then we'll go with preparer. Okay, so if we had to finalize this with the preparer, the obligation should then be closed off. Okay, and here we can see that the March period has been moved over, or the April period has been moved to the recently finalized obligations.